Welcome to the kingdom. I'm Chris, and this is Good Enough Gaming. Alright, so for first time on the channel, we are going to be playing 40k. This is only my third game of 40k. What is it for you? Is this your first? First. So we're going to make a ton of mistakes, so be nice in the comments. We're using the Leviathan cards, so according to what we drew, what did we draw? It was officially called Supply Drop. So there are 3 objectives here in the center of the board in No Man's Land, fitting with our little World War I themed board here. And then, to keep things simple, we're not going to use gambits. We're only going to draw 1 secondary objective. And for the primary... Oops, that's a bit of a glare there. So, secondary objective for the defenders is Cleanse. They have to sacrifice a turn of shooting to get some extra points. And then for the attackers, it's Destroy Enemy Vehicles. So, we're keeping it simple. We got enough to worry about with rules. So we'll do deployment, and then we'll go over the army lists. Okay, so for today's game, it's Necrons versus Ultramarines. So let's start off going through the Ultramarine list. What do you got?
All right, so leading that group, I have an Infernia squad, followed up with an attached unit of Apothecary Biologist, as well as Librarian and Terminator Armor.
But he's not attached, he's just running alongside, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And then next to it, we got some old school Marines.
Yeah, so it's a Devastator squad. Yeah, we'll run it with Wizzy Boo.
Okay. Moving over.
And then they are Stern Guard veterans.
Okay. And then behind them, we've got the big boy there.
Is the Ballistus Dreadnought. And after Ballistus Dreadnought, we push forward just a tad, and then the hiding of the trees there.
Oh, yes.
We have... Lieutenant in Phobos armor, trying to get as close to an objective as I can on the opening.
And then over on the far flank, your right flank,
a follow-up of additional Inferno squad.
And then in reserve, you got some guys back there too.
I do, yeah. So reserve is the Terminator squad, standing by for the
teleport homer.
Yeah, teleport.
And in the Terminator squad, you've got the captain in there too, don't you?
Yeah.
So they're your Death Star for the game.
Yeah.
All right, let's go see what the Necrons brought. Okay, for the Necrons, starting on their right flank, when I'd be on the other side there. So we've got a Chronomancer who's attached to a squad of 10 warriors with the Goss Flayers. Next to that, we have a Scorpek Destroyer Lord, along with a unit of Scorpek Destroyers. Anchoring the middle, we'll have a small squad of Immortals with the Goss Blasters and a Royal Warden. Next to them, we've got the Canoptic Doomstalker, and he's equipped with a big heavy gun on top. We've got a Canoptic Spider there, and a tiny squad of 3 little bugs that she's going to try and keep alive. We're going to test out their self-destruct and see how that works. We've got the twins next to it there, 2 Locust Heavy Destroyers. One has the anti-tank gun, one has the anti-infantry gun. And then at the far flank there, we have another unit of 10 warriors. They're going to be equipped with the Goss Flayers, so they got to get a little bit closer. And they have a Plasmancer going around with them. So, let's see who's going to end up controlling No Man's Land here. So, turn 1 coming up. So, give us a rundown. What's happened with the Space Marines after movement?
All right, so after movement, the Infernia squad coupled with the Librarian have made a movement of 5 inches. That's the max movement they have because of the Biologist and Gravis armor. Devastator stayed where they are.
Makes sense.
Yeah, their weapons
your heavy support.
Ballistus moved slightly lateral and forward, not within his 8-inch capacity, but it has more to do with line of sight. Storm Guard took a little bit of refuge in some cover provided by a crater. Phobos stayed where he was also, and the other side of the Infernius detachment moved forward to their max, so 6 inches.
So we got a cautious advance here. Just FYI, he chose the Doomstalker here as the target of his Oath of Moment, and we will see what happens in the shooting phase. All right, opening salvo from the Space Marines. What are we having? You said the
Ballistus Dreadnought. We're going to shoot the Ballistus Missile Launcher in the crack version at 48-inch range.
At my guy.
At your cannon tank.
All right, so 2 shots, hitting on 3s. We got 1 hit, 3 to wound. That's a wound. You said the AP was?
-2.
All right, my save is a 3, but I got an invul of 4. So 4 up invul. Saves. Bounces off the shielding.
Nice.
This is for the last cannon. Once again, 1 hit hitting on 3s. Oh! Bounces off the armor.
Swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss. All right, opening salvo not quite as effective as the Space Marines would have hoped, but at least the shooting has started. All right, Devastators are going to be unleashing all over the place. So what do we have?
So my missile launcher Marine is targeting the cannon tank.
Okay, Doomstalker.
Doomstalker.
And then the others?
Heavy bolter and the plasma gun are targeting this squad.
Okay, alrighty. Let's get to the dice. All right, Devastators didn't move, so Heavy gives them +1 to hit, so hitting on 3s with the missile. This files the missiles. Oh, okay, so we're still warming up, I guess.
Goes astray.
Oh, well.
The wind blew typical RPG.
All right, Heavy Bolter, 3 shots, same thing, hitting on 3s. 2, not bad. Toughness of 6, so you need 5s to wound.
Yeah, 5s to wound.
And you know what we were forgetting? Just because I'm sure people are going to be yelling at it already. Anything, we'll go back to it, because you get to re-roll your Oath of Moment. So the missile would have gotten another shot, as would the Dreadnought.
Yeah.
Let's try. So 5s plus to wound. No, so nothing there. Go ahead and roll your re-roll for that missile shot. Still no. Boy, he's really... He must be the new guy. He's holding it the wrong way. He's shooting the missile behind him. Okay, so far the opening salvos have been a little bit lackluster, but they're just warming up.
So plasma gun.
Right, so 1 dice for D3 shots. Blast will not affect. So 3 shots. Okay. And you didn't move with heavy, so you're going to be hitting on 3s. 1 hit, so you're wounding on 3s. That's definitely a wound. AP of -3. Yikes. I gotta save a 3+. I need a 6. That's not a 6. So you do damage of straight 2. So one of my canoptic guys here is down to 1 wound. All right, not quite first blood, but at least there's some pain here. All right, to try and finish off the shooting phase, Stern Guard are going to shoot the Heavy Bolter and the 2 guys that are in range down into this squad of Immortals. Yep.
So hitting on 4s.
There you go. 2. Strength of 5. Toughness of an Immortal.
And strength of 5
is 5.
So
4s.
Hitting on 4s are better.
Got 1. AP.
AP -1.
Okay, so 4+ save. No. What's it just does 1 damage. These guys only have 1 wound. That is
2 damage.
2 damage. So still just 1 guy, but you blew him up.
Okay.
All right, that was effective. And now you've got your regular guns.
Yeah, 3+.
1 miss. That's not bad.
No.
Strength of 4, I believe. Toughness of 5. So you're going to be wounding on 5s.
Yes.
1 wound. Now I am in cover, so I get to. Does it have any AP?
-1.
-1. So the cover will negate it, so I get my usual save of a 3+. And that's a 4.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, those bullets ping off. But you did kill 1.
Yeah.
1 singular sensation.
What?
All right. Any other shooting from Space Marines? I think everyone's out of range for now.
That's it.
All right. So we'll head on over to the Necrons for turn 1. All right, Necron are going to match with their own very slow advance, but that's because that's all Necrons can do. So the Warriors we're coming out of our cover here, at least these guys are, and we're going to hope the reanimation keeps us alive. So the dead one from here came back, the Destroyer here gained a wound back, everybody else was untouched, but a steady advance forward to get us in range to shoot some Marines. Okay, so this squad of Warriors is going to open fire on the unit of Infernus Marines there in the forest. They've got the character with them. And so for this particular detachment, Necron get to add +1 to shooting. Now in compensation, the Necrons have by default gone to a 4+. So that hurts a little bit. But here we go. 10 dice, hitting you on 3s. Needing 4s. Just 2. So you got 2 saves to make at AP nothing.
3+.
And actually it's 2+. No, it isn't. Sorry. I'll give you the details why. You don't get cover if you have an armor save of 3+ and being targeted by a weapon of AP 0. It's really specific, but they didn't want Marines to become invincible. So 3+. 1 fail, but that's only 1 wound.
Yeah.
So I didn't kill him. Scorpec Lord and Minic Annihilator, if I'm saying that right. Again, into the Infernus squad. We gotta chip those guys away before they can get within range. So 2 shots, hitting on 2s. Wow, this guy's a good shot. Nope. No, he's not. So that's 1 hit. Strength of 6 against the Marine is going to wound on a 3. And there it is. So you have 1 save at -1, but you're in cover, so you get your regular save. And you're good. All right, moving on. The Warden allows the unit of Immortals to treat their weapons as having assault. So they ran up another 5 inches to get close to the objective, and then they're going to put fire down on the stern guard. So the Warden gets 2 shots, hitting on 3s. That's a 4. That's just 1 hit. And then it's a strength of 5, so I'm wounding it on 3s. That's a 3. You got 1 save at -1, cover negates. But it is a damage 2, so if you fail this, it will kill him. And he's good. Okay, so now let's head over to the Immortal. 2 shots each. They hit on normally 3s, and they have a character with them, so they actually do hit on 2s.
Yeah.
That's no good. That's no good. But these are auto wounds. And the rest all hit. So I'll see if I wound you. Needing 3s because it's a strength 5. Alright, so you got a total of 5 saves at AP 1. You take 1 damage. All that shooting, and I kind of like chipped the paint on his shoulder pad. All right, the duel is on. The Dreadnought shot at the Canoptic Annihilator, or the Doomstalker. So the Doomstalker's going to shoot back at the Dreadnought. That's just how these things work. So, D6 plus 1 shots. That's a full load of 7. And he's heavy. I did not move him. So I am hitting you. His ballistic skill is only a 4. So for not moving, I get to hit you on a 3. That's pretty good. That's almost a full house. So you have, or no, not yet. So that's 6 hits. What's the toughness of a Dreadnought?
10.
10. So I am a strength 14. So I'm wounding you on 3s. Those 2 are out. So you have 4 saves to make.
Yeah.
At AP 3. 4 saves, AP 3, so you need 5s. Wow.
So 1.
Nicely done. 1 goes through, but it's 3 damage straight. All right, over to the twins. Let's see what they can do here. The one here with the Heavy Gauss Destructor is going to brave the shot through the trees to shoot at the Dreadnought. So because the weapon has heavy, and he didn't move, so he gets +1, but shooting through the trees will give a little bit of cover. So I'll take that risk. 1 shot, hitting you on a 3+, didn't move, becomes a 2, and that's a 3. So that hits you. It's strength 14. You were toughness 12, I think.
Toughness of, wait a minute.
Come on, get it in there.
Toughness of 10.
And I fail. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use my command reroll. Thanks. And 1 inch. There we go. That's a 5. So that wounds you. Yep. Now it's a -4, but going through the trees reduces it to a -3. So you have 1 save on a 5+.
So saving on 5.
Now, do you want to use one of your command points to try again to save that? Because this is a straight 6 damage.
We're sitting at we're sitting at
right now you have 2 command points.
yeah. So yeah,
Use it. All right. 5 up again. No. Yikes. A bright beam of green punches a hole right through you. That's 6 damage. Okay, finally, one of the units on the board here remembered how to use the weapon they've been issued. Second destroyer with the Enmatic Annihilator, I think it's called, is going to see if they can rinse away that. Because I cannot allow him to get close to the objective with those flamethrowers. So let's come on over here. Now, he's within rapid fire range, so I'm getting 12 shots. Sustained hits 1. Let's see a whole bunch of 6s. 2, I guess. So there are 2. I'll replace those misses. And everything else hits. So that's a full house right there. Strength of that weapon is 6 against your toughness of 4. So I'm winning it on 3s. That's not bad. So you've got 3, 6, 9. You got 10 saves at AP 1. Now, if you want to start taking them on the back row that are in the craters, you will get cover on those. All right, so let's do 3 at a time, and I'll deduct them from this here. So these, -1 negated by cover, so you get your straight up save. Okay, so total of 5 wounds went through. So that means you lose 2 guys in the back row, and one has a wound left. All right, that's what I was hoping to accomplish with that. The warrior unit with the Gauss Reapers were out of range, so they just decided to run a bit further. And the Plasmancer there, he had his evil Emperor Lightning that he zapped at them, but absolutely nothing happened. There's no other charges. I'm holding back my melee guys. So at the end of turn 1, everybody's advancing to hold those objectives. The Space Marines have taken a little bit of a bloody nose, but turn 2 is coming up, and there is a unit of Terminators that's going to arrive, so that's going to make things interesting. All right, on to turn 2. So at the end of Space Marine movement phase in turn 2, we have another full court press. Using Devastator Doctrine, the Space Marines can advance and still fire their weapons as though they had assault. So this Infernus squad has run up to challenge the warriors for that particular objective here. The lieutenant, he's just chilling behind a tree there. Dreadnought has moved up very slowly. Sternguard veterans have moved up to control that objective. The Devastators have come out of the crater to take up positions in the old trench line, and the Terminators have arrived, along with the captain. That's going to hurt a lot. And then the other squad of Infernus have moved up to hold that objective. So the Necrons are in for a world of hurt because the entire Space Marine army is within range of shooting. So I got off easy last time. We'll see what happens this time. Starting with the Infernus, they unleashed this torrent of flames on the warriors. They got 18 auto hits. What's the strength of those?
Strength is 5.
Oh, that's not good. Toughness of a Necron warrior I think is only a 4. So you're wounding me on 3s then. Oh.
Not as good as I would hope.
No. AP 0. Okay, well, I mean, Necrons don't have a great save. Saving on a 4+. That's not good. Well, half. She killed 5 of them. So the Librarian's finally going to get into the game, and he's going to shoot lightning bolts, mine bullets, and actual bullets. Everything he's got at the Scorpec Destroyers. Starting with Stormbolter?
Stormbolter.
1, 2 hits. You're going to need 5 steel wounds. 1 wound. I don't think it has an AP though.
No AP.
Okay, +1 to save, so I'm saving on probably 2s is my guess. 2 up save. But I fail it anyways. Okay,
right, so
mine bullets.
Mine bullets, we're going to do
3 shots. So you hit with all 3, now you got to roll to wound.
no
Okay,
6s.
but 2 go through. Cover takes it to -1, and a save of 3, so I'm going to 4 up save here. Save 1, but you managed to bring down. So we're starting with the Terminators. I'm worried about this. Assault Cannon's going to open up first. That was how many attacks did you say?
6.
That's too many. Okay, let's see what you got here. Hitting on 3s, I think it is. Ooh, he's still getting used to that thing.
Yeah.
Again, wounding on 4s. Oh
He
no!
missed everything.
And that is why we have that face right there.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, but now you got a whole bunch. I'll let you gather the dice for the Stormbolters because there's going to be a lot of them. 16 Stormbolter attacks from the Terminators, hitting on 3s.
Jeez, look at that.
Wow!
Terrible.
5 to wound. Just one.
Just one.
Any AP?
No AP.
Okay. 3 up within cover goes to a 2 up. Now, last time I needed a 2 up, I still rolled a 1. And I did it again. All right, so it's the Tray. The Tray is unhappy with both of us today.
Yeah.
Captain, hitting on 2s. 3 hits, wounding on 4s. I'm sorry, wounding on 5s, because you're shooting the tougher guys. 1. 2 up save. Let's see if I can repeat. No, actually saves this one. Nice job, guys. So just a summary, because each of these models shot at different kinds of things. So the missile tried to shoot at the Canoptek Doomstalker and unfortunately whiffed. Then the multi-melta, the heavy bolter, the plasma cannon, and the sergeant back there with his combi weapon put everything into the Immortals and managed to kill 1. Unfortunately, the dice were not kind. So moving on though, there's still plenty of other stuff in the way that can cause some more damage. At the end of Ultramarines shooting, some significant changes here. So the Dreadnought shot his las cannon through the forest here and completely obliterated one of the twins. My heavy hitter here is now totally gone. Missile at the Doomstalker, but unfortunately the Doomstalker's shielding blocked everything. And then the chest guns pummeled away at these guys and killed a few, but it was the Stern Guard veterans here that turned this unit of 6 into a unit of 2. The lieutenant peeked his head out and took a few pot shots, but didn't actually do anything. And then over here, we had a bit of a barbecue. We lost 3 Necron warriors. There's a chance they could all come back, but if they don't, everyone lost. That's significant for me. So we've had a pretty good answer here from Space Marine shooting. So in the command phase, Necrons have started to put their reanimation back to work. They got a couple guys here, I think 1 on this squad. This one did really well. It completely healed the gentleman back here and then respawned that one with 2 wounds. 2 more of these guys returned. So I think that means I don't have to take Battle Shock because they're now back above half. No one here was wounded. This guy who was here can't. And we got 1 Necron back there. All right, after the Necron movement, this game might get very short after the next turn or 2. So these warriors have moved up to contest that objective. Hopefully we can rinse away some flamethrowers. The destroyers are going to have to do something about those Terminators. We can't let them stick around for too much. The warriors, the little bugs swarm, and the spider are going to concentrate on freeing up this objective with some help from the other destroyer here, and then the warriors with the Gauss Reapers are going to see if they can eliminate that and completely seize control of the flank. Alright, the Necron shooting phase left a little bit to be desired. Over here we stripped away, after shooting with the warriors and the Scorpec Lord, we killed I think 2 of those Marines, so that unfortunately wasn't very much. Over here there's a big dreadnought shaped hole where there used to be a dreadnought. So fortunately my Canoptek Doomstalker was able to take care of that, so that's my secondary objective. However, the combined firepower of the Spider and all of the warriors here, the Immortals, only stripped away a few of the Stern Guard. So the bugs are going to have to go in and see if they can take care of business, I guess. And then over here was the big surprise. An entire, almost full-strength unit with Gauss Reapers, the Plasmancer, and the other destroyer here, putting everything into that squad, and still we were not able to rinse them all away. So, he still has a sergeant that can cause me some problems. Although I am holding the objective, but still, I was hoping to clear him out so that I could focus on other things. So, we'll take a look now at what the Necrons are going to do in the charge phase, and we'll come back with a summary. at the top of turn 3, Space Marines have gone on the assault here. So we switched to the, what's it called, Tactical Doctrine. So those Terminators have fallen back so that everybody can take a shot at the Destroyers, and then the Terminators are going to charge back in. The Devastators are slowly moving forward to try and contest that forward objective, along with the Full Boss Lieutenant, who's finally decided to join the fight. This guy back here, he failed his battle shock, but that really didn't mean a whole lot since he's already outnumbered on that point. So Space Marines have positioned themselves for a lot of shooting and a lot of punching. So we'll see what happens after each phase, and we'll give you a summary. So after the Ultramarine shooting, not a whole lot happened over here. The cover protected the Necron here from the barbecue. Over here, pistols and combi weapons didn't do a whole lot against the Scarabs or the Immortals. I think I got one. The Devastators just aren't turning out to be that devastating. They shot a whole bunch into the Immortals here and did nothing. Although there was a lucky shot with the Melta that took 6 wounds off of this guy. So that was good. But the rest of the squad, the missile guy here, I mean, does he know the missile's actually leaving? I don't know. He hasn't hit anything all game. But over here, the firing from everyone, the psychic powers, rinsed away the entire bodyguard of the Scorpec Lord and stripped him down to half wounds. So I don't have a lot of faith for him surviving the melee phase against that entire squad of Marines. So we'll see what happens after the melee phase. As was expected, the Scorpec Lord with only 3 wounds could not withstand a charge from both the Librarian with his force weapon and all those Terminators. He got brought down pretty quick. The Captain didn't even need to swing. Over here, though, there was a bit of a surprise. I interrupted with my Scarabs. I used the self-destruction detonation, rolled a 6, and then rolled for a grand total of 5 mortal wounds and blew up the Lieutenant before he had a chance to actually fight back. So that'll teach him to come out from behind his little tree. And that is all of the melee. So now we'll see if the Necron can withstand. I think this flank here is pretty much lost to them. The center's still up for grabs. And the Necron left is looking pretty secure. So we'll have to see what happens. Alright, the Necrons, after their command and movement phase, we reanimated one over here. They're starting to move forward, but they do have to finish off that guy there so he doesn't sneak the ninja the objective. Over here, there was a full reanimation of this squad here. The Spider has moved up to clear the way for that destroyer to help with those troops there. The Canoptek, Doomstalker recovered 2 wounds, so at least he can withstand another shot from something like that Melta. And unfortunately, only 1 warrior reanimated here. That is not enough to stop the tide of all that. So we'll come back after the shooting and see what's happened. Alright, shooting phase for the Necrons has been very successful. Over here, the Reapers managed to finish off that last Marine over there. The Technomancer, I think, was able to use his Eldritch Lance and his lightning ability and kill 1 of the Stern Guard. Then the Spider, the Destroyer, and the Immortals were able to take down the squad of Devastators to just 1 guy left on 1 wound. And that left the Canoptek Doomstalker to fire his really big blast weapon into the Terminators, but unfortunately didn't roll as well as I'd hoped and only killed 1. Then over here, this squad of warriors they killed I think 1 of the Marines, and then the character in the unit gives them ability to move after they shoot, so they're going to take cover behind that to maybe try and withstand all of that. I don't have a lot of hope, but we'll see what happens. We do have 1 charge that's going to happen over here, as long as I make it. So we'll come back and tell you what happens. Well, in a bit of a shocking upset, the Spider charged in and was unable to take off any damage. She only needed to get 1 attack through, but the veteran managed to save everything. So that means that combat is locked in, and we turn over to turn 4, Space Marines. So after we did both the Space Marine shooting and charging phase, I mean, the inevitable happened. That squad has been completely rinsed clean. There was an attempt, both by the Multi-Melta and the Psyker, to try and strip some wounds off, but unfortunately, he made all of his saves or the attacks missed. And then over here, as I would have expected last time, the Spider was able to bring down that last Stern Guard veteran. So from the center of the board left, there's no Space Marines, and from the center of the board right, there's no Necron. So we get to bottom of turn 4. All right, we had a bit of a think and a chat, and at this point, even though it's just the start of turn 4, the battle is beyond the reach of the Ultramarines to snatch victory back. The Necrons will have been holding 2 objectives long enough that they've had a huge gap in victory points, and 2 turns is not enough time for the Marines here to try and turn around and take that objective. So we're going to call it there. It was a solid victory for the Necrons, but I have seen some of the devastation now that guys like this can do. So I hope everyone enjoyed it. I know I did. I would definitely say that that was good enough.